And by the way, dogs may help cure cancer. Not a joke. Dogs are able to, they're using dogs now because their olfactory glands are 400 times what a human is, to smell cancer in people's legs and people's bodies. Not a joke. It's a fascinating thing.
So is it comforting or is it hopeful or more painful for you to hear about cancer developments like this?
It's mostly hopeful because I don't want to see anybody go through what my son went through. One of the things you should be aware of, there's probably more soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines coming home with brain cancers than any time in American history because of exposure. Some of you have read the book Burn Pits. There's a lot of research that still has to be done to determine whether or not exposure to these toxins in the air have had something to do with it. Also, you have an awful lot of these IEDs have caused brain trauma in other ways as well. So it really is something that I'm going to encourage us to spend a lot more time in the government focusing on. A little bit like, you know, it used to have to, with Agent Orange, you'd have to prove that even though you were drenched in it, it rained on you, that whatever your problem was as a consequence of that. It was very hard to prove. I finally got a bill passed as a senator saying if you were drenched, you're automatically assumed whatever your problem is related to that. Same thing now with the IED. If you were near concussion, you have a problem, it's assumed the government has responsibility for it. But there's a lot going on, and the doc could tell you more, but one of the things that really excites me, Doc, is the idea that we're moving into potential immunotherapy initiatives that what they did with Bo, they injected an adenovirus into the brain.
Exactly.
And they were giddy initially at all of the human body coming in to eat up the virus. But it just kept going, and because there had been some damage from radiation on a blood vessel, it didn't work. But there's real hope for people.
Mr. President, with this flash therapy, there's much more synergism with immune therapy than with conventional radiation that we're finding.
Not that I agree. I don't mean like as if I matters what I agree on.
And our Proton Center, which will be, we'll treat our first patient in 2023, will have flash capabilities. So we'll combine the benefits of protons, flash, and immunotherapy together. So,
explain the difference between a proton and radiation.
Yes. Great question. Great question.
It's really important.
Yeah. So with conventional radiation therapy, like this unit right behind you, sir, this produces high-level X-ray energy radiation that's penetrating. It goes through normal tissues as well as tumor. So everything is treated, normal tissues and tumor together. With proton therapy, the dose stops right at the tumor, so you're not treating normal tissues. So it's a major advancement in the treatment of cancers.
And treating normal tissue sometimes is a very bad thing. It also, you can destroy the normal tissue. You destroy the cancer, you hit that, but it goes through the cancer and destroys whatever is beyond it, not just in the brain, but wherever that. And so that's why I think some of a few of the Nobel laureates on my cancer facility were argued that we should start to focus on proton, and because it doesn't have the same application, but it does less damage when there is damage done. And but it really is one of my regrets becoming president. I had to give up the Biden Cancer Initiative because I couldn't raise any money for it. But we proposed, there's literally 6 Nobel laureates on the board, a group of people that are like the doc. I was almost called you to ask you. It's a long story, but it is something that there's a lot. These guys are on the edge of so many things. Think about it. Jimmy Carter was declared basically gone 5 times. Now he's in trouble now, but it's amazing. It's a little bit like. That's why I should never give up hope. When the breakthrough comes, it just comes through not planned. It's just whoa. You got it. Anyway, I'm talking too much.
Mr. President, do you believe you have the political capital to make changes on gun measures right now?
I hope so. I don't know. I haven't done the counting yet.